It was a cold, rainy Thursday evening when Ethan Wallace, a self-proclaimed business genius, walked into the downtown restaurant. Dressed in a $1,000 suit, designer shoes, and a gold watch that shimmered under the soft light, Ethan carried himself like a man who owned the world. He was there to meet a client. Someone had recommended this small restaurant, claiming it had the best food in the city. Ethan was skeptical. To him, luxury had a price tag, and this place didn't look like it was worth much. As he walked in, a young waiter approached him with a kind smile. "Good evening, sir. Table for one, or are you expecting someone?" Ethan looked him up and down. His shirt was a bit wrinkled, and his shoes looked like they had walked through many rough days. "Obviously, I'm not here to eat alone," Ethan scoffed. "Get me a quiet table near the window. And make sure you don't mess anything up." The waiter, unfazed by the rudeness, nodded politely. "Of course, sir. Right this way." As they walked, Ethan whispered under his breath, but loud enough for nearby diners to hear, "Amazing how anyone will hire just anyone these days. Look at him. Can't even afford decent shoes." Some people turned and stared. Others looked down, embarrassed. But the waiter simply pulled out the chair for Ethan and said gently, "Let me know if you need anything at all." A few minutes later, the client Ethan was waiting for arrived. A tall, middle-aged man with calm eyes and a confident posture. They shook hands, and Ethan immediately launched into his pitch about investments, branding, and business strategy. As they spoke, the waiter returned several times, refilling water, taking their orders, and clearing the plates. Each time, Ethan barely acknowledged him. Once, he even snapped his fingers and said, "You people move so slowly. Time is money, you know." The client, Mr. Jameson, watched silently. After dessert, Mr. Jameson leaned back and said, "Before we finalize anything, I want you to meet someone. The person who recommended this restaurant to me. A very special person who understands real value, not just in money, but in people." Ethan smirked. "Sure. Anyone who eats here must have pretty low standards." Mr. Jameson ignored the comment and turned to the waiter. "Excuse me, would you join us for a moment?" The waiter walked over, surprised. "Of course, sir." Mr. Jameson smiled warmly. "Ethan, meet Daniel Carter, my mentor and business partner. He owns several companies around the globe. And he's also the one who taught me that kindness is a greater asset than pride." Ethan froze. His jaw dropped slightly. "Wait, what?" Daniel, the waiter, nodded. "I prefer to stay grounded. Every few months, I volunteer here to remind myself of where I started. I used to wait tables in my teens. It keeps me humble. Helps me see people clearly." Ethan's face turned pale. His confidence shattered in seconds. Mr. Jameson continued, "You talked a lot about branding today. But how someone treats those who serve them tells me more than any portfolio ever could." Ethan struggled for words. I didn't know. I mean." Daniel looked at him and smiled kindly. "You never know who's watching. Or who someone really is. It's easy to laugh at someone when you think they have nothing. But life has a way of flipping the script." Ethan lowered his eyes, unable to meet theirs. Mr. Jameson stood. "We'll be in touch," he said simply and walked out with Daniel, leaving Ethan alone at the table, with the echoes of his own arrogance ringing louder than ever. That night, Ethan didn't post about his dinner. He didn't take a selfie or brag about the meeting. Instead, he sat in silence, for the first time in a long time, wondering how much success he really had if he couldn't treat people with basic respect. Sometimes, the richest lessons come from the people we overlook. Because behind every uniform, every humble smile, and every quiet presence, there might be a story we can't even begin to imagine. Thanks for watching Kindness Tales. If this story moved you, touched your heart, or reminded you to treat everyone with kindness, please like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us bring more inspiring stories like this to the world. And remember, the true measure of a person isn't in their wealth, but in how they treat others when they think no one's watching. We'll see you in the next one.